And we are back. I just wanted to, this is our first try, fellas. I just wanted to focus on, um, it was a nice build up of this one, but just looking at what we're doing on our next phase of play. So this is nice here, run it on. And it was just basically basically saying well done for the try, but getting ourselves organised even outside of it. So good effort on the first one. We'll move on from there. This next one. So I like the option to kick, but we haven't got our chases in place at first. So this guy gets a decent gather and makes a little bit more ground than we wanted to. So it's just getting organised before we execute those decisions. So this one I've really commented about. We're a little bit slow to get into position, certainly on the blind side as this sort of runs on. One a shot up there, not all of us come up as a line, and then look on the blind side there. We haven't got set, so we haven't come up, we haven't done the guards, and basically they've made a lot of meters off the back of us there. This was like a real good turnover and a nice decision, a good movement of the ball to get out wide to mark. It's a nice little carry, and what praise Freddie for keeping on going, staying with him, drawing the man, not being greedy, and just executing that decision well and getting the try in. So that was lovely to see, and good options there. Here again, we moved the ball well, fellas. Joining the line at the right time from depth allows us to put some pace back into the ball. Little offload off the deck, which we've been practicing on. Nice security and moving it away again. Good little minus line because Mike's on his own, so well spotted there. Shipping the ball into the middle, just looking at our gaps for the tip-ons. And then we roll around that corner and we managed to get the try. So it's nicely worked. Good distance between each other, good spacings, and good identity. Now we made a decent little break here. We get upset nicely. Early call for the Queen is on, and then a decision to kick afterwards is our game plan that we're trying to get put in place. We win the scrum off the back of the kick, so we've got to back ourselves against poorer teams. We've got to be able to execute well. Here we've got we've made a real nice break down the side. Just throwing the ball away though. We got lucky really. It's just that control. I know obviously off the back of it, Pierre's made a really good run. Freddie's managed to stay in support, so he's kept the ball alive, which is really good. But just think about decision making with these offloads. They've got to be right. Just a short one there. Watching us score another try on the out wide, which is it's just nice to see us getting that ball to width and being able to score tries, fellas. So good work, and there's some good parts of that we should be pleased with. Straight off a kick-off, we gather this one, and as it moves on, we have a couple of decent phases. The first one's a little bit isolated, but we recover it and secure it. Second one's just a two-man pod again, but then the call must have come in for a box kick, which is fine, but let's be aware of it so we can get a kick chase on the go, because watch Jesse, there's nobody within a metre of him to help him out. Second half now, and we're in position for another kick, which is the right call. The chase is a little bit lacking, so you end up with Pierre on his own, and then really it's just trying to help him out. It shouldn't really be the 10 getting there behind as he was the kicker, so we need to get a little bit closer to him, but the chase was decent enough that kept him pending their half. So this is like off the back of a scrum. They made some decent meters because our line speed was a little bit slow. We've managed to get back on side as this goes, and I think the next defensive line's pretty decent. We come up, put a little bit of pressure on them. But following on from this, they just moved the ball, which we're not used to, and that sort of third, fourth defender hasn't rushed up, creates a dogleg look, and they're away, and they're making another 10, 15 meters on us. So we've got to be mindful of that. This is like a really good exit from our own 5 meter line. So we've got a decent carry there from Harry. sets the ball up nicely. We get a decent boot on this with a decent chase, and really, it's just a really good exit and exactly what we're sort of looking at. Finding the space, putting loads of pressure on them back and sending them back in their half. This will be another kick chase. It's come off a lot of scrappy balls again, like an offload there, just throwing the ball away. Fisher's managed to grab it, outpace that follow, find some space. So we drew a few men in, got a decent kick in, and then we've got Ian putting a lot of pressure on here, which is really nice. So much so that, we ended up scoring a try. So kick chase pressure is brilliant. This again is another decent kick chase. So again, back in our half. I think we ended up boxing it because we haven't got. Jesse's probably secured the ball here. Get a decent kick on, and we put a decent chase. So yes, it went to the man, but 4 men are there to put pressure on him. He's maybe made 10 meters before we got that tackling, and then we managed to hold him up, and I think we actually turned this over. So looking through the videos here, really, we want to be picking up from 8 here. The 9 can't come around anymore, so it gives us an option to have a decent carry. We get a decent carry on the go, gives us a better angle for that exit kick. The decision to kick is right, but we can probably execute that slightly better with a carry first off the back of the scrum. This is just about line speed again as a defensive line, not just the first 3, but out wider. So you watch it again, this guy drifts across us, and because our outside men haven't pushed up fast enough, they actually make some meters and then start putting the pressure on us. So we need to be load firing all the way across that line. So again, in our half, we need a little bit more protection on these rucks if we're going to box. I mean, he headbutts the ball, but we've got one chaser and then a couple behind him. So again, it's just getting that connection a little bit. So if we are boxing, let's try and organise ourselves a little bit better. Put a little bit of protection in for the 9 kicking, and then make sure that our chasers are flat to the line and ready to go. So this starts off nice. We're moving the ball well. Nice little tip on from Mikey here for Goose, who's scared of space. Once we start passing the ball, here we start offloading, throwing it away a little bit. So off the deck, then we're throwing it out of contact, regroup us, regather ourselves. That's a nice control pass. Let's just get to ground here again. Flick off the back of the hands. We do get lucky and Harry gets a bounce and we get the try, but better teams we might struggle with that. This again, so we move the ball from the middle of the park. It's a nice little pass and a good kick. Decent chase follows it up. There's 2 men there, look, putting pressure on him, and unluckily with a high tackle. But the important thing for me is the people were connected and the chase was really on, and we managed to find space with passing rather than like loose offload. So it was a good option really. This is off the back of a great kick that gives us a 50-22. So we should be bouncing here. We should be the first to the line out. Hooker should be ready. Front jumper should be ready. Let's get ourselves eager and keen and ready to go. But we're in a great position here and a great opportunity. So we set up the maul, but actually there's no fucker there, and we let the ball go. We could have just walked. Look, there's nobody there. So be confident with what we're doing and back your mauls when they're on. There's scrum, and our defensive line's maybe a little bit slow to get up in the face. So he's just walked through us a little bit and, excuse me, and probably tackle height. So we've gone high and he's just pushed us off. So be confident with our hits, a little bit lower. And then because of that, like I say, we're slow to get in there. A few of us have gone high, we're getting pushed off. A little bit of fatigue, maybe kicking in. Overall though, fellas, great win for the start of the season.